Hello, today I want to make this program. It's a program to be able to select objects on screen. I can show you how I did this in OpenGL, but the concept is cross-platform. You can port this on anything. I was even able to move it to my Game Boy Advance, one of my personal favorite systems. So let's get started. So the concept to how this works is right when the mouse button is clicked, you quickly draw every object in the scene an incrementing shade of red, and you compare each of the objects to the selected pixel value, and if there is a match, then that object is selected. Now let's see how to make this in OpenGL. So let's start by just drawing 4 squares on screen. We'll have 2 header files, a screen height and width, and a draw squares function, where we draw each square 4 times with an offset and have the color different each time. We can then put that draw squares function in our display function. And below that, we'll initialize a few functions and create a standard main function. And if we compile and run, we should see 4 squares. This next step is where we color each of the squares an incrementing shade of red and return the pixel value of where the mouse clicked. So let's create a couple global variables and have a function that returns the pixel value of where the mouse clicked and call that within a draw squares function. And we'll need a mouse function to turn on the state variable when the mouse is clicked. And if we compile and run, we should be able to return the red value of each of the squares. The last thing to do is to hold on to that selected value, and if it equals one of the squares in a draw square function, then that square is selected and we can draw it differently. And let's add the display function and our mouse click function, so every time we click we draw the squares red. And now if you compile and run, you should be able to select each of the squares. Now we only have 255 shades of red. If you have more objects than that, then you can increment a shade of green, and that combines for 65,000 objects. If that isn't enough, you can add a shade of blue, and that combines for 16 million objects. And that should be enough. And there you have it, a simple program to select objects on screen. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.